We are live, guys. Welcome to Beyond Injury Time, the football podcast. Today we are going to cover another important transfer in the transfer saga series. That is Jurrien Timber. Did I get the name right, Abhay?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
thankfully.
it's a transfer that is imminent and a quality transfer indeed. So Abhay, let's start the discussions with you, man.
Jurrien Timber, firstly, I like the price at which it's done. It's done at around 34 million pounds plus add-ons of around 4 to 5 million pounds. So you could say a lump sum of 40 million pounds, a rough estimate. The reason I like it is because we needed a right back. We have not had an overlapping right back for ages. We have not had one, right? And at Ajax, he plays as a right centre back, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking at it and you're thinking, what's happening here? But the
Yeah.
thing is, he has the capacity to play as the right back because he has one of the highest carries in the league. He's really fast, and I'm not like when you look at his height, he's 182 centimeter, which is like 5'11", which is not the tallest for a centre back, right?
Yeah.
Which is not the tallest for the centre back. And I know my friends at United are like, we have all Lisandro Martinez, he's shorter, but he wins headers and all that. Well and good. I'm still I'm probably old school, and I believe that your centre back should be taller. I mean, you can have a good reading of the game. I understand that. But when there's a cross, all of a sudden, you need the height. It gives you an added advantage. When you have good positioning and you know where the cross is coming, that's well and good, you know. So I do not think he'll play. I mean, he can play right centre back for us, but that will be in an extreme scenario because Ben White can play as centre back, right? We have got Saliba who will be first choice for sure. We have got Tomiyasu also who can fill in. But in terms of a marauding right back, we have none. Ben White played last time, right? But that's not his natural position. His natural position is a centre back.
Tomiyasu is a natural position is right back only, right?
Yeah, no, in his position, he can play right back, left back, but I genuinely believe his natural position is a centre back. And he's
Tomiyasu?
Yeah.
Or are you fucking kidding me?
You
Okay,
know,
go ahead.
Yeah, even I'm actually surprised at that. So
yeah.
based
They
on
signed him
what,
as a right back and
No,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'll allow
Tomiyasu-
him to. I'll allow him to finish that. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Tomiyasu
go ahead, yeah.
lacks the pace of a overlapping fullback, right? As in, he's okay, he's not bad, but when you look at someone like Trippier, when you look at even Alexander-Arnold, and when you look at Reece James, you know, they when you need an overlapping fullback, firstly he needs to know how to make good runs and he needs to be fast as well, right?
Okay.
And Timber has this in abundance, right? He's 22, which is a really good age. But the best part about Timber that very few people understand is he can swivel on his position, on his point. He's a great he's a great ball carrier. He can dribble, he's fast, he's aggressive. But when you look at that, the fact that he's aggressive, it's kind of funny how I see Ajax defenders and all of them seem to be aggressive. I've seen Martinez be aggressive. There's a left centre back they have, that is Kelvin Bassey. He's also very aggressive. This guy's also very aggressive. And this guy tends to be really at times close to the final third. And this he was doing when he was in Ajax, where he was playing right centre back. Now that gives me a bit of nightmare, as in what is the spatial awareness like, right? What happens when we lose the ball? What happens to that big size hole that is made?
Exactly,
But in terms of pace and power, I feel he has an abundance. His passing ability is also very good, right? There's not much to dislike about him, other than the fact that his aerial duels winning percentage is 42%, which is like low.
I'd like to focus
I think
a little bit on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Aman, go ahead.
Yeah, I believe what I have heard is in AX he is working very hard on getting the aerial things right, the positioning bit of it, and the height does not support him, but he is trying to cover it with the positioning, which I think we have already discussed about Lisandro Martinez, how he does the thing.
Yeah.
So on the similar print, what I was wondering is if he is to be a right back, what is his deliveries in final third?
Yeah.
How good he is on the attacking side of things?
Oh
Actually,
no.
I would like to, Abhay started of the discussions about how good a ball carrier he is, right?
Yeah.
So, and you guys have mentioned a couple of times about Lisandro Martinez. I understand he's a United player and is pretty good. So, okay, uh, let me let me say this out loud. United initially wanted to go for Timber. We were not able to secure his transfer because Timber wanted to stay. There were some rumors that at the time Netherlands coach was Louis van Gaal, and
Mhm.
Louis van Gaal had mentioned that United is not the right place to go. That's why we had to. Eric Ten Hag said, "Okay, I could have Lisandro Martinez." So they were the centre back pairing at Ajax last season. Okay, no, last season. So there's the other thing that I wanted to mention is that overall Timber is a much better player than Lisandro Martinez. The only area where Lisandro Martinez probably excels is the defensive duels. Lisandro Martinez is like a lion when it comes to defensive abilities, whereas Jurrien Timber, the way he progresses the ball. So I was looking at a pie chart, right? So every time you receive the ball from the keeper, the how does he think? Does he pass it sideways, or does he pass it back to the keeper to recycle the play, or does he think forward? And I could see there are a lot of since he's a right-footed center back, there are a lot of passes that he was making, towards the right. That's what the diagonal balls as well. So he's
Okay.
pretty good at that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Firstly, I would like to talk about the point that United wanted him last year. It's true, and I would like to correct some of the statement. So the question that was posed to Louis van Gaal in the press conference was, Timber is looking for a transfer so and so, and then the reporter said, this is what the reporter said, that if he does not get game time regularly in United, what happens to his position? Then at that point, Van Gaal said that then he does not get selected. So what he was implying was that if he's not featured in the team regularly in United in the first team, he's not getting selected in the Netherlands squad. That is what he was implying, right?
Mm.
Secondly, uh, so the good thing about this guy is because he's so good on the ball, right? He's so good on the ball, we are going to invert him for sure.
Mhm.
So at this point of time, what we used to do is we used to invert with Zinchenko on the left back side. But in case we are playing Tierney, right? So this guy can invert and come into the midfield for us. He's that good. And it's kind of surprising that the people who can turn on the pivot, the best people that we have are actually Zinchenko and Timber.
Yeah.
They're that good. He can receive the ball on the half turn and then just maraud forward. I mean, that's what, if he was a midfielder for us, a number 6 for us, I would have been so happy you wouldn't believe, because of the way he turns. But then there's another thing. You're turning in that position, as in you're basically in our own half when people are pressing. What happens when you're turning and you lose the ball? It's a goal. It's a goal.
Yeah.
There's nothing
Yeah.
else.
That's
Unless
what
and
actually
until
wants to
your
come back,
striker
you know.
is
AJ,
Darwin
I
Nunes.
wanted to
This,
ask you.
yeah.
I wanted to
He,
ask
he
you
also
this. I mean, why do you think Arsenal wanted Timber as a center back? They already have a couple of good center backs. Recently, Saliba also signed a long-term deal at Arsenal.
Mm.
So, how do you see Timber fit in at Arsenal, and what are those important attributes that will enable Arteta to maybe play? I mean, Manish, you can also pitch in on the same.
So yeah,
Uh,
I think okay.
Before you people pitch in, this is
Okay.
something I would like to add. So,
Mm-hmm.
Arteta was asked what comes next,
Hmm.
at the end of the previous season.
Yeah.
So he said, we have a great foundation and we have
Mm.
become really competitive. But
Yeah.
now I think it is time to press the reset button and go again. This is one
Mm.
thing he said. Second, he said, whatever is not already on our page, right? That's needed to win. It has to be recruited, and we did not have a marauding right back. And
Yeah.
you're talking in terms of centre back, right? You need to understand that we as fans always felt that as soon as Saliba got injured, that's when our season got derailed. I've got stats to back it up, which I can throw it around,
No,
but
we can see, we can see that.
Yeah,
We can
that's a
see
very
that.
But
big
yeah,
But
I
factor
believe,
because
I
that's a
believe,
very big factor. Arsenal didn't win the league. Yeah, really,
correct.
really
no,
big
no,
factor.
yeah,
but
I believe White could have
I know
filled
you people are
the.
laughing and all, but Gabriel Jesus just came out with an interview and
No,
he said that the
Yeah,
players.
I understand. I understand what he
yes,
just
yes,
said
yes, yes,
about
yes, yes.
Pep and
Yeah,
all that.
the
That's why.
clouds just
see,
burst
see,
after
see.
Saliba got injured,
Yeah,
and then they
I
gave
can
the
also
title
go on
to Man
about
City.
But
of the. I
See,
can also
I
go
want
on
to pitch
about
in on
how.
so many
See,
things. So
see, I
I'll
appreciate
start with some of the
what
stuff. Okay.
Arsenal. See, I really appreciate what Arsenal did, but Abhay, just to think that you cannot just simply say because of injury to one player, you
No, no,
yeah,
no.
I
I'll
believe
maybe
it
a
was
series of
two
events.
players.
If
It
you
was
no,
can,
two
no, no.
players
I'll tell you
basically.
why. Because the problem was because the replacement that came in, right? It's
yeah,
like a square thing in a round hole. It's a square peg in a round hole. Rob Holding got the ball, he booted it away into the stands. Right? That's not the way we play. And I know you people are like, what are you saying? And it's not just because of one player, but here are the stats now that you have called for it. With Saliba, our
we
win rate
didn't
is
call for it.
78%.
Yeah,
We didn't call for it. No, I
just we didn't.
actually
No,
want
We,
to.
you
I
called
actually
for
want
it.
to
You
say
just said,
how.
what did you
AJ
say?
can go.
Okay,
We all
let me
agreed.
pitch.
We all agreed
Let
that
me pitch on some of
Saliba,
the stuff. Okay.
Saliba
Peace,
going
man.
away.
Peace. Okay, I'll
Okay. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
You save the stats away. Actually, I mean, I would like you. I'll give you the opportunity to talk about stats, but I just wanted a little bit of opinion from Manish and AJ as well as to why do you think Jurrier could be a defining signing, especially with the way Arsenal were leaking goals, right? Especially opposition that were going to counterattack them, they were unable to handle those kind of pressure, you know. So how do you think Timber as a defender is going to, chip in and help them?
See, okay. Everything. See, like we haven't talking for some time, and I feel like we have been talking about his attacking capabilities and how we can go forward and everything,
Yeah.
and all of that suggests that big hole that we were talking about. See, we have Trent. Okay, so I know what he's talking about, and that hole when you miss that Trent, as bad as he looks, by the way, he does decent job. He misses, but he does decent job. Can Timber do that? I don't know at this point. I don't know how good of a defending he has. That's first thing, okay? Second thing is that if you are saying that Saliba got injured and that's why you couldn't win the league, which obviously is very simplistic way of putting it. That's not how it
Yeah.
works. But yeah,
But he was one of the
even
major
if
reasons for sure.
what is like you introduce Timber into that particular team, if Saliba gets injured again, you don't have a solution. By the way, okay,
No,
White,
you
that is
don't
not
have a
your
no,
solution.
solution.
White will
As far
pitch
as I
in.
can say.
No,
White
because
will pitch
Okay,
in,
Amit is
right?
right. Amit,
okay. How? Okay. Last time when
Last time,
again.
White was playing on as a right back because Tomiyasu was also injured, I believe.
exactly.
So
So we
there
had
were
Rob
two injuries.
Holding.
So White was going on the right back, who could have covered for Saliba, and they
See, there are
didn't have
so
a
many.
right back.
So in that way, if I'm saying if Ben White is
Very
your
good. First
standard
man
standard
explaining why
defender,
Arsenal
right?
lost the title.
Yeah. If you have a standard defender, Ben White, who could defend that good, you change your system in such a way that you can defend better. Arsenal was in a position where they were leading, no, however many points, okay, but they were leading. If if you're going to say that Saliba went, we had Ben White, we couldn't fill him. You probably would change the system. I mean, you do something else,
I
but
completely agree.
you put a guy who's not good at defending for so long, and then if you say that it did not work, I mean, I
As
don't.
per as per a philosophy, I absolutely agree with AJ here, right? So whenever we talk about, okay, us, Arteta, Pep, Klopp play a certain way, there is always this matter of adapting. You
Correct.
always, okay, before start of season, you always, with all
Have a
this
plan
data
B,
science
have a
stats and
backup plan.
yes, you all. So
Hmm.
this excuses I'm not having it that one player got injured, two player got injured. You got to plan that, you got to change.
Yeah.
Arsenal
Exactly.
led by 7 or 8 points or even more at one point. Nothing
Yeah,
justifies them losing the
now we are
title.
just
But I have a question. At the start of the
no, we are
season,
just going in.
how many people said that we would be in a title race? Just tell me that.
No one. No one.
So
Oh,
the
Who said
whole
okay?
No, no.
No,
Arsenal
I
no,
think
did
that's
well.
that's
No, wait.
no,
probably a
hold on,
complete
hold on,
different
hold on.
discussion, by the way.
I'm just
Yeah.
okay. What
Yeah.
I'm asking you
Mm-hmm.
is, do you know the
Mm-hmm.
season before you spent you spent a lot of time in the top fourth position. You lost out on the top four,
Yeah.
right?
So
Why was
yeah,
that? No, hold on.
Yeah.
Why was that?
yeah,
Do you,
because so this time we are rectifying it. Last time,
no. You didn't rectify it
no,
the next season.
yeah, we didn't. But we
Just
are
like you lost out on top four, you
Yeah.
lost out on the title race.
Yeah,
Once you got to accept it, man.
because but the thing is, we
I
did
think
not have the financial capabilities. We did not have. We had
That is everyone's problem actually, apart from
exactly.
City and
But
But
because
I don't believe, I believe Arsenal is spending quite a good amount of money in past few seasons. I
they are
don't
one of the
believe that.
highest spenders in
Correct.
Europe.
yeah.
So
okay.
money
Now we are
thing I might
discussing
not be very
mostly.
No,
aligned
but
with.
please,
I
if you could just go through the squad last season. I mean, if you just go through the squad last season, you'll understand we have a good group of 11 players, right? 11 to 12 players. As soon as one gets injured, like luckily Saka did not get injured. Saka gets injured and our season is gone.
But Abhay, you are stepping
No.
into the
Okay.
same
By the way,
Again, you
season
are
also,
saying the
I
right?
same
want to say,
point.
You are
When
let's
you
get
say
back
the
to the
season is
team.
gone,
we are just
We're going in a
discussing
team
why
discussion.
Arsenal
We
missed
probably
out on the
shouldn't do it.
title.
you
Now
are stepping into the
let's
same
move on to
thing.
Timber. Yeah, we are
Yeah.
just discussing why Arsenal lost to Timber.
I
Just
think we
forget
will
about it.
make another
no,
video
no,
on
no.
this, Abhay. This
I
is a
personally
very
We
feel.
can do
interesting
another video.
topic.
Yeah. Now
Listen.
coming back to
I
Timber.
personally feel that the it's a defender, right? And it's a big defender. Okay. And why the defender is signed by Arteta, that also Abhay has quoted Arteta himself at the end of last year. The reasons why we did not achieve certain objectives, we need to recruit them and recruit them well. So when you're signing a defender, the discussion of the title race that was lost will obviously come, and that's why we are discussing it in a good note. We are analyzing it.
Yeah.
Abhay
Hmm.
is more onto the fact that if you lose out on a couple of players, obviously the quality drops. But then how you shape your team to be compact? You could have had 0-0 draws, 1-0 wins during that time.
Yeah.
As opposition fans, we personally feel that it was Arsenal's title to
To
lose.
lose.
That is
Yeah.
it. No
Yeah.
matter,
Um,
even if your 11 players would have injured, even if you put 4 5 youngsters, what the only thing that I'm saying is Arteta should have done away with his philosophy. He
No.
should have said, I'm going to play on the counter, but I'm
No.
not losing out on the title. You cannot have a gaping hole when you do not have the players for it against City. You lost to your immediate title contenders both the games. How do you
Okay.
justify losing both the games to
Yeah,
City when you're
because
leading?
I mean, firstly, I genuinely believe Arteta is very rigid at times. But then there's
Very
also the
rigid, yeah.
fact that if he wasn't the coach, we wouldn't be nowhere near the title. Nowhere. United
I
has been
agree.
said.
Look.
No, let me just
We are
lay out my points.
no, we are
Right?
going to actually cover about Arteta and Arsenal
No,
very
no.
well. But I understand he is very rigid. I understand
But
that Arsenal overachieved in the season.
no. You need
let's
to.
come back to
You
let's
Yeah,
come
no,
back to
no,
the
no,
other
no.
topic.
For the defensive point, I understand that you're looking at the defenders, but you have to understand that the player in front of the defenders
Okay.
needs also support. We just had one player, Thomas Partey, right? And he's like half at that point of the time, he was so spent, he did not have the legs, right? So when Timber comes in, that's when I said um, that's why I said that we needed the Jurrien Timber can come in and he can play as inverted role. But now that I understand you people have so many views, I'm really interested to know what Manish thinks about it, you know.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead,
what I
Manish.
wanted to say, yeah, what I wanted to say was we were just discussing about Arsenal's
Yeah,
title
before you
challenge
start, just give
for the
me
season.
1 minute here. Before you start, I just wanted to say, I mean, guys, whatever the arguments or whatever, it's all in good
Faith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
yeah.
good
And
faith.
I mean, this is actually that is
Yeah,
exactly why we love the game, different
it's
opinions and
all
all.
good
So
till
I
the
it's
season
all good.
starts. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all
it's
good till the season
yeah.
starts. Yeah,
So
no
Yeah,
matter
Manish,
Manish,
no matter
yeah,
how.
go.
Manish,
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
yeah, the point which you made, Rajesh, that okay, Timber is a better player than Martinez. So I would like to disagree on that. So I'm not going to say Martinez is a better player than Timber. You said that
Okay.
United were targeting Timber first, so maybe he's better than Martinez. So on the
That was
reverse,
not the reasoning, but yes, go ahead.
Arsenal was targeting Martinez, if I'm right. Abhay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah,
But
so
but
what I want to say is like he plays on the right side. He's a right-sided right center back, and Martinez is a left-sided left center back. They both complement each other very well,
Hmm.
and I think is Timber is a very good runner with the ball. Like he gets on or he passes one or two players in that tricky situations. And whereas Martinez, he finds a clever pass. He's so calm and composed on the ball, and he finds a clever pass, which this guy doesn't do. Timber doesn't
No,
do. He
Timber
gets
also
on with the
does.
ball.
He's very good in
He
between the
does,
lines.
in that passing aspect, Martin is slightly better than Timber, and in ball carrying aspect, Timber
Stats
is
don't
slightly
lie.
better than Martinez.
But yeah,
This is what I wanted to
Correct.
say. And you
actually,
cannot
just a valuable
no
point.
from this.
I,
If ETH would have his way, like Manish mentioned about left-sided and right-sided center backs, left-footed and right-footed, if ETH would have his way, he would have both of them in one
okay.
window.
Because
Obviously,
ETH,
yes, yeah,
whoever plays in AX, ETH gets them from
Gets them.
Netherlands and
yes.
put in his
Oh,
ETH
And
11.
now
not
that
only
you're speaking,
Ajax, whoever plays in the Dutch league,
That league.
ETS targets him. This
no,
was what I missed in the last
And
video.
ETH
And
message, ETH wants to know your location.
and Abhay, I have a question for you. If you guys are really so happy and balanced with signing of Timber, who is a right-footed right center back, why were you then going for a left-footed left center back last year?
no. You
This is
need
my
to
question.
you need to understand when we were going for Martinez also,
Yeah.
we were going for him to turn him into an inverted left back. We couldn't get him. That's why we bought Zinchenko.
But has he ever
Okay.
played as an inverted left back ever for Ajax or anywhere in his career?
No. But
No,
when you
he
look,
doesn't have that much of pace, Abhay. Like
He
you
doesn't
just
have
said,
that
like
much of
okay,
pace.
I
he can
understand he
overlap.
does. Yeah. But
He
when
can
you play
invert
a
into
inverted,
midfield, no?
he comes into the midfield. Martinez comes
You
into the
don't have to
midfield.
Yeah,
run the line. You don't
even
have to
we
run the
have
line always.
contemplated playing him in midfield because when
Exactly.
Eriksson was injured. Yeah,
Uh,
fair point. Okay, guys.
I have one more point on this.
Yeah, okay.
Do you believe with the Timber signing, do you believe is Arsenal covered in the defense area as they are now competing in Champions League
Yeah,
as
and
well?
finally there are no excuses also.
Finally,
Okay.
one injury, two injuries
We will
cannot be
not
counted
accept.
as. So do you
At
think
this
it's
point of
covered? Now
time,
they are covered.
with the players that we have in defense,
Hmm.
I think we are going to cut out on Rob Holding. Right, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Other than that, the defense is covered. But last time also, this is the issue that we had. Our CDM position, right?
Mhm.
Our CDM position, there was only one ball winner we had, Thomas Partey. That's it, just one ball winner. This time we have Declan Rice, right?
Correct.
So with the current structure of the team, we are well covered. Though ideally, I would want one number 8, even if he's a really young kid or something. That's all right. But other than that, we are covered. We are covered everywhere.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, Amit, I guess he has answered your question, but what I wanted to just mention is that I'm enjoying this because this is building up to the day when teams start against each other. I mean, the
And
heat
there's
is
so
going to
much
be
to
on,
talk
man.
about it, man.
I
There
So
is
feel
much to
like
talk
the
about it.
I
absolute,
feel like we won't be able to even talk,
won't be
properly.
even
We
able
will
to
be just
talk.
be talking on each other. I
The
feel like.
heat is going to be on, man. The calmness that you
You
see.
know, as soon as when we were talking defenses, right? And as soon as you mentioned the incredible ability of like Lisandro Martinez defending, right? I immediately thought of Salah, just like putting turning him
I know.
and
Okay,
and
fine.
I
We will
enjoyed
discuss
that
that
so
later,
much.
man.
I cannot tell you how many times I've seen that video, by the way.
All right,
Bro,
great.
I swear to God, this guy needs another room and he needs tissues with himself.
Tissues
Right?
Okay, final round
Yeah.
of comments from everyone regarding the rating. I would personally rate it a very good transfer, considering the challenges that Arsenal have faced. Obviously, they needed to add some body, and they've got the man. So I'd rate it a 8.59 out of 10 transfer for now. Amit, how do you see it?
Yeah, what
North London rivals,
yeah,
remember?
as much as I have read about him, saw the videos, I feel that he is a fighter. he what I have gone through is that he does loses the ball, but he is fast enough and he is
To recover.
energetic enough to recover, get it back. He takes the whole
It's a good point.
responsibility.
Yeah.
He's a good addition. Uh, Defensively, how good he can do, aerially, how he can develop himself, all those things are yet to be discovered right now. But yeah, I would rate him. He's a good youngster, good with high potential, and I'll rate it like 8.33 out of 10.
अबे भाई जान लेगा क्या?
Fair enough.
Okay. AJ, how do you see?
Yeah, actually, I'll let Manish go first because I have to say a little bit more, and I'll ask a question to Abhay as well. So Manish, go first, and then I'll just conclude, I guess.
Okay, yeah, he's a very good player for his potential and his physicality, and a step forward in his career from Ajax, then now to Arsenal. I would rate him 8, and because he's just an addition to what Arteta has already in his team. If Arsenal win something, this rating would go up. I would say this is a very
Absolutely.
good signing
That's a good
because
point.
they
Yeah.
win.
Yeah,
Abhay,
that's a good point. Okay.
go ahead.
So yeah, I'll.
No, Abhay.
Abhay, okay.
Yeah. Just for the profile alone, because we did not have this profile, I would rate it a 9.
Okay, AJ.
Okay, so I'll go with this. First of all, his profile, as you mentioned, right? The kind of expectation that you have from him also comes with certain liabilities as well. So I'll ask my question and later, but the thing is that I feel like the whatever that you have mentioned, what I've seen as well, the defensive part of his side, I think is a whole which probably was a problem for Arsenal last time as well. Your attack was not that bad. Your defense was a problem. So if you have
Yes.
sorted that out, probably fine. If you're going to play him, how you're going to defend that tactic is going to define a lot more basically how it's going to go.
Yeah.
What I want to
Yes.
ask you
Fair
is
point.
that
Yeah.
is he your starting player? That's first thing. Second thing is like if he's starting for you and if you are expecting that kind of attacking potential from him, do you have a defense plan for that?
Abhay,
Okay,
please answer that question.
yeah, and I'll also conclude on my rating from that particular point of view. Good addition, nice price, I'd say. But I honestly, I currently don't see where if he's how he's going to fit in the team, and if you're going to include him, is that going to create a new problem for you, and how you going to solve it? On that whole point, it's 7 for me for now.
The solution to that problem is only one thing: Declan Rice. That's it. He's going to be covering massive distances. He needs to be winning those balls, and our centre backs need to be winning because when he goes forward, right? When he goes forward, then if he's going to go forward, what's essentially going to happen is our left back, right? Tierney is going to come in a little bit. Our centre backs are also going to get a little compact, right? But the main line of defense at that point of time has to be Declan Rice.
Declan
He
Rice.
needs to be he needs to be stopping it because once that area is free, right? Then we are in trouble. It's true. We are in trouble.
Okay, I don't know. One more thing. I mean, just on that point, I feel like probably that is too much for Declan Rice to cover because your both of your left backs do go outside, right?
What?
Both of your basically full backs
No.
do they run or they don't?
No. So what happens essentially is one of the right backs or the left backs. Like last time, we did not have the option of a right back turning inverted, but the left back turns inverted and the right back marauding, or your right back can turn inverted and your left back goes marauding, right?
Okay.
At all points of time, we have got 3 people who are behind.
In attack, they go 3 at the
Okay.
back, and while
Okay,
defending.
let's see how it goes. I think it's good. It's definitely good. It's a profile that you needed, so that's good.
But
No, actually,
I agree.
it's
We are going to feel a bit of pain a lot of sometimes, but I think the net positive will be greater than the negative.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the answer, like you mentioned, right, is Declan Rice, because as we discussed in the other episode when that transfer went through, is that Rice is brilliant when the opposition is trying to counterattack. He's a very good stopper of the counterattacks, you can say. He breaks up play. So that's why they've
Yeah,
spent
that's it.
100 million on him. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good discussion, guys, and a lot of heat. I guess since a long time I've been waiting for for such a kind of transfer that will bring the heat in our discussions, which will again
Let
build
the
up.
title talk come in, man, and we'll
Yes,
see.
yes. It will
That is
really
it.
build up nicely to when the season starts, when the games start.
Yeah.
So that brings us close to the discussion of Jurrien Timber. I hope everyone that is watching us had a bit of fun with us as well. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Yes.